happened over the weekend after Minnesota Rocker beat Optic Chicago in a very, very close match in round 11 of the Search and Destroy in the 5th game. It lined up perfectly for the Minnesota Rocker and player accuracy, also known as Lamar, as he was able to get a 1v3 as all 3 players lined up and get the win. The big issue came after the match when the Minnesota Rocker Twitter account tweeted out a picture of the 4 players from Optic Chicago, distraught and upset, with tweeting it saying, "We are witnessing a breakdown brick by brick." Players from Optic Chicago as well as owner Hex did have some issues with it.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E Report. Wake up and good morning. 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh.
What day is it today?
First thing Monday morning.
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 God, I feel rough.
Monday is the worst.
Oh, hello. Good morning. Here I am.
Ready to start the day.
Not really.
But I have hope. And coffee. And coffee.
So bring it on. I can take it.
All right, you asked for it.
What is it? Showtime.
Here's Toast and Marsh.
4th and 20 podcast, kicking things off on a Monday morning. What's up, y'all? I am Toast, no Marsh, a little bit MIA, I guess. Got my man Sean hanging with me as always. Good morning, Sean. How are you? You do. You always got my back. How's your weekend, bro? Good?
It was all right. I spent it over in Naples, so I was on the left coast.
Left coast, man. I like the left coast. It's amazing how you can drive 2 hours and the energy is completely different from the East Coast. It is more chill. It's more just laid back. It's slower. It's quieter. It's just a nice escape, and it's only 2-hour drive.
Yeah, and I got cut off, and thought I was gonna go crazy, and they got out and apologized to me. It was amazing.
Road rage?
No road rage. There was like road niceness.
So wait. So
I got cut off, and then we were turning into the same spot, but they cut in, and they got out. They apologized. They physically backed out of the parking spot, and we pulled in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't get that here. Here I would have had my tires slashed and everything else.
They must have been like a nice Midwestern family.
Oh,
they
were
just
so
moved
nice.
to the left coast. So, yeah, the left coast is mostly Midwest folks, so nicer. The East Coast is, the Northeasterners, and so a bit of asses.
I didn't know what to do, and then when we got across the alley, I stopped at a gas station. I said, "Oh, honey, we're home."
Just got the notification. We are live on Twitch and on YouTube, so you can go ahead and search Onside Radio and check that all out. Please follow, subscribe, and set for notifications. So we had the weekend. Well, first of all, one thing we're definitely going to talk about today, Sean, so figure out at what point we want to talk about this, but I'm going to need a full WrestleMania recap.
Oh, I got you covered,
I know that we have audio of Hulk Hogan getting his ass booed.
Yes, he did. A couple times.
Just spectacular. I know we had that Putz Logan Paul showed up, so I believe we might have some audio of that as well.
Yeah, we do.
And we'll get into a WrestleMania recap. And for those of you that aren't aware, Sean, my man here, hosts the Squared Circle on Saturdays, and it's a full-on wrestling show. So he obviously was a 2-night event, right?
2 nights, Toast, 8 hours, and there was a rain delay in a pro wrestling show. You have to love it.
They did this thing over in Tampa. As you know, yesterday there was some weather, so there you go. We'll recap all the locals: Marlins, Panthers, Heat, Canes. Of course, got the Masters also. The
Canes were in action this weekend, right?
Yeah. Well, the Canes had their second scrimmage. And then they will have their spring game this weekend. That will be at the Rock. That will be televised on the ACC network. To this point, they're saying no fans. I don't get why there's no fans going to be allowed at that. I mean, we're at the point now where there should be fans allowed. I mean, not full on, obviously. But, I mean, the fact that they're not doing it with any fans is, I don't know. I'm not quite wrapping my head around why that's happening. But, yeah, so we'll get into that. The quarterbacks looked really good. Listen, man, I'll tell you, we are so lucky as Canes fans because it's been a long time. And you look at this roster position by position, and this is legitimately the best roster we've had in a long time. And you look at certain rooms, man, and I know we all love De'Ara King, and he's going to come back, and he's going to be great this year. But it is so nice to know that we don't have to worry about where the 2022 quarterback is coming from. We're not going to have to worry about Manny going into the portal this offseason and finding a one-year transfer to come on down and, someone that was a starter somewhere. No. The solutions are all in-house between Tyler Van Dyke, Jake Garcia, and then Ja'Cory Brown, who's going to be coming in. Hopefully, if that commitment holds, you're set. Quarterback room is set. And those two kids, listen, TVD, from everything I'm being told from the scrimmage yesterday, I was not there, but have some folks that were. TVD is just a monster, dude. He is a big-ass man. He has turned into a man, and you can't move him off his spot. He will throw it right into the rushes coming in his face. He will not move. He will wait, and he will get that throw off to his receiver, and then you hit him and he won't go down because he's a monster. He's like a Ben Roethlisberger almost. And then you got Jake Garcia. Kid's only been on campus for like a month and a half, and he is lighting it up. And so right now, from what I'm being told, the competition, TVD is getting a slight edge, but they are just battling the hell out of each other. And it's going to continue. And it just bodes well for the future of this program. Because when's the last time we had that, Canes fans? Like, seriously, when is the last time we had a great quarterback here and knew that we had a couple young kids who were also going to be great, ready to fill in for him when he graduated?
And the fact that nobody's talking about jumping in the portal because they might not win the job.
Well, listen, I mean, you know that both these kids know that neither one of them are winning the job this year, that the job is De'Ara King's. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean – now, listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Now, next year, when one of these two kids is named the starter, maybe that means that the loser does go into the portal. I don't know. It could be because then all of a sudden you've got a roadblock in front of you for your entire career. So that could happen. And then you've got Ja'Cory Brown behind them, who's going to be phenomenal if everything that we're hearing, everything that we're seeing on tape. So the transfer thing, I'm not going to go ahead and say that none of these kids will transfer. I happen to believe, listen, if we have TVD, Jake Garcia, and Ja'Cory Brown all in the quarterback room next spring, I will tell you guaranteed that within 12 months, one of them will have transferred out.
Wow. Okay.
Well, just because, especially with TVD and Jake Garcia, they're the same class.
Yeah. Also, I mean,
and they both want to play.
That they're competing against each other right now, not necessarily like, oh, he's getting the more reps, so I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? Yep. They're actually competing against each other, and you're watching it, and that's what makes teams better.
Right. And absolutely. Listen, if we have enough quarterback depth that every couple of years one of the guys is leaving because he can't get on the field, I got no problem with that. That, to me, is a sign of a healthy program. And the way transfers go nowadays, yeah, sure, that wasn't a part of football back, in the day like it is now. Now it's borderline free agency. But listen, Canes are in a great spot right now. They're in a great spot. I mean, you don't have to worry about going to try to find like FSU, a Mackenzie Milton to come in after this year. You don't have to worry about it. We're set. We're good. All we got to do is look to the quarterback room for the next guy, and you're going to have 3 studs in there. So it is real. And I'll be honest. Listen, it sucks that De'Ara King is hurt right now. It sucks that he's working his way back. But I got to be honest. Part of me, it's kind of working out well for the program. All the reports are De'Ara King is doing fine in his rehab. He's going to be back on the field in no time, and he's going to be 100% in time for Alabama. But the fact that we're in a position right now where these kids are getting these many reps, when normally De'Ara King would be getting 75% of the reps right now. The fact that these freshmen are getting it's great. It's great for them. Great for their development, great for the program. So, man, listen, I could not be higher on the Canes right now. I could not be more optimistic about where we stand. So, yeah, I can't wait for this game next week, man. I cannot wait to watch this spring game and see it all. I mean, Charleston Rambo had a huge game, huge scrimmage yesterday or Saturday, I should say. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Everything seems to be on the upbeat, right?
I'm nervous to say that. I'm nervous to be too optimistic. But yeah, right now, as a Canes football fan, everything's pointing in the right direction.
Does it worry you though? And I hate to do this to you because but like you're hearing all this about the offense. Mm-hmm. Is that because the defense is not?
No. Because apparently, what I'm also hearing is that in the first half of these first 2 scrimmages, the defense owned the offensive line.
Oh, okay.
Owned them. Now, is that a situation for concern? Obviously, I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll get a better idea of that this weekend during the spring game when it's just a full-on actual game, and we'll see the two lines battle head-to-head. I'm optimistic about both of them. I know we got a lot of losses on the defensive line, but I like the guys they brought in. I like the guys that are there to step up, the underclassmen. And same with the offensive line. Listen, you talk about this offensive line a couple years ago. You all remember after that Florida game, and Zion Nelson is a true freshman starting at left tackle, and it was a little bit rough. And it was a rough first season for him. And you'll remember early on there, Manny had a post-game press conference where he said they brought up Zion specifically and the struggles he was having, getting beat, giving up some sacks. And Manny said, listen, this is the kid. Now, there's going to be some growing pains here because he is a true freshman. We're throwing him into the fire because we don't have any other option there. But trust me, a couple years down the line, you're going to see the development and the reward for what we have to deal with right now. And I tell you what, Manny was dead ass right. Because they're talking about Zion Nelson as a future first round pick in the NFL. And when you remember where he was as a true freshman, and you remember that statement that Manny said after, I forgot what game it was after. It was early on in the season. I think it might have been, I don't think it was after Florida, but it might have been. But he said it then. And I remember it clear as day that he said, this is going to benefit us. A couple years down the line, as he matures and everything, these are the days like this are going to be rewarded because he's going to be a stud as a result of this. And he absolutely is. And so listen, the offensive line, once again, like everything else, this is the best offensive line we've had in years. But the only aspects of this team that you can't say we're not as deep as we've been in years would be linebacker, defensive line, and I guess you could probably say cornerback, but bringing in Tyreek Stevenson was huge. So I like it. Listen, there's no excuses. There is no talent deficiency that can be an excuse for games this year. No. And I know you say, oh, Alabama. All right, fine. Alabama has more talent than us, but outside of that, there should not be a single game this year where we're just going up against a far more talented squad. Just not impossible. It's impossible.
And I think Alabama will be a good barometer to see where you're. Again, if you keep this within a 2-touchdown victory or something like that, you're happy, right?
I'm still terrified of that game. I am.
No, definitely terrified. But at least you have a barometer. It's you're not going against, Valley State College, and then you win 56-0, and you're like, oh yeah, we're back on track, and then the next week you slip up.
Here's my issue, Sean, and it's not that I am confident in the talent that we have for the Alabama game. The reason why I'm nervous about that game, and I'll be honest with you, it's because of the coaching staff. This coaching staff with Manny has yet to show that they can get a team ready for a big game. Haven't done it yet. They haven't done it yet. We're down 21-0 in the first quarter. Coming out of bye weeks, we finally got our first win out of a bye week last year. So I'm just saying, this coaching staff is the reason why I'm nervous about Alabama. I'm nervous that the coaching staff will have them come out flat because that's been the MO. It's been the MO for a Manny team in a big game. They come out flat. That's why I'm nervous about the Alabama game. I believe this, just talent on the roster, lining them up, I believe Alabama is better, but I believe that the Canes should be able to keep it within 2 touchdowns unless they just come out flat and get the doors blown off them early on. And unfortunately, with this coaching staff, that has been the MO. So that is the big hurdle for me that I have yet. Once that hurdle's clear, bro, once Manny shows that he can get a team ready for a big game and they come out and they perform, I'm all friggin' in. I'm all in. I've been waiting 3 years for Manny to show me that he's a coach that can motivate his team for a big game and have them show up. Hasn't happened yet. As a result, I'm still on the fence saying that I'm not sure he's the guy. But if he can get over that hurdle this year, and these guys show up for Alabama, and they show up for UNC, and whether they win or lose, as long as they compete and they show from the starting whistle and they play a full 60-minute game and we see where it all lays, that's all I'm looking for. But if that doesn't happen, that's the issue. That's where I am as a fan. That's my big question mark. And it doesn't have to do with the players. It has to do with the staff. And it has to do with the head guy, Manny Diaz. And I want him to succeed. I really, really do. But But you got to get these guys ready for big games. You can't get rolled like this. You can't get boat raced in the first quarter every single time. Can't happen. Cannot happen. All right, got a little Canes talk out of the way. That was good. We got to talk about what the hell happened last night. Did you see, Sean? Like, I railed against Major League Baseball last week. Did you see the dumpster fire that happened in the Sunday night baseball game? For all the world to see last night. The national game, and Blue did it again.
And did you see what team it was against?
Oh, my God.
That's an uproar.
Freaking unbelievable. So we will get into all of that. There is tons more news on Deshaun Watson. There's also big news on Formula One. And I am very excited about that because I'm a huge F1 fan. So we're going to go into all that stuff. We'll also talk about the Panthers and the Heat and the Masters. It's all coming up next. This is 4th and 20 on OnSideRadio.com.
You can reach out to Toast and Marsh by dialing 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
A message to help keep you safe. If doctors told us today that we'd made a breakthrough on COVID-19, saving thousands of lives, we would rejoice. Finally, a good news day. We'd feel less afraid that our loved ones would be struck by the invisible enemy. We'd start to feel hope that we could live our lives again. Well, a mask does all that. We can help protect others by covering our noses and mouths, which is how the virus mainly spreads. Masks are a ticket to freedom, to be out in the world, to getting together, back to work, back to doing what we want. If doctors announced we could save lives today, we would grab that breakthrough with both hands. While we wait for a vaccine, grab the breakthrough that's already here. When we're out, it's masks on.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It's Toast. Smartest thing I did last year? Called B&T Windows and Doors and had PGT custom windows and doors installed in my house. Listen, it's spring. That means before you know it, we'll be hearing about the tropics churning. That means you need to get your home and family protected today. Call B&T right now and they'll get you installed ASAP with the best in the business, PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126 or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S. Tell them you heard about them on Onside Radio.
He has an overbite that makes him look like a cartoon character, a slightly crooked eye, and an uncommonly wrinkly neck. In the right light, he can look a little like a garden gnome, and he'll wear a bow tie just because. Sure, you might call him a little quirky, but that's exactly what makes him so perfect. Tuna is a 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix with more than 700,000 followers on Instagram, and it all started because he was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Tuna, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Inter Miami CF fans, Onside Radio is the place to guide you through the 2021 season. Go to our website at OnSideRadio.com and download any of our apps to listen to your favorite team. OnSideRadio.com is your home for La Rosa Negra.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Welcome back to 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh. To reach out to the boys, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Toast and Marsh.
4th and 20, Monday morning. Please subscribe to the podcast. Tell your friends and neighbors and enemies all about it. There you go. Wherever you find your podcast is where you will find the 4th and 20 pod. And, of course, we also stream live as we record this every single day from 8 until 10 at onsideradio.com, which you can stream live through any number of apps. Just go to onsideradio.com and see that list. All right. So, oh, my. I thoroughly enjoy when chaos comes into sporting events. And listen, I went off on these guys last week, and I've been going off on them for years, and I will continue to go off on them because, as I said last week, and I will always stand by this, in my mind, dollar for dollar, pound for pound, the most incompetent of all of the 4 professional major sports organizations and their officials / referees / umpires are baseball umpires. They're the worst of all of them. They're the most incompetent. They're the worst. The fact that Angel Hernandez still has a job is proof that unions will save your ass if you suck. It's just proof. It's proof that unions protect the worst of the worst. That's all it is, man. So we obviously saw Big Blue go ahead and screw the Marlins last week with the Michael Conforto when he got hit by a ball that was in the strike zone. The rules are very clear. That means it's a strike. Blue behind the plate, botched the call. Afterwards says he botched the call, realized he botched the call. But guess what? Can't do anything about it because Major League Baseball's replay is pointless. So now you go to last night. Bro, it's the Sunday Night Baseball. It's the national game of the week. There's no other games on to distract people from, okay? If you're a baseball fan, you're watching that game. And apparently, there were a lot of people watching that game according to social media. So I guess maybe early in the season, I'm not sure. You know, there wasn't a Panther game going on. There was a Heat game going on later.
It was literally the only thing going on.
It was the only thing for a few hours last night. And, well, let's just go ahead and this is, I must full disclosure. I have to let you know that this play benefited me. I ended up pulling even in fantasy baseball because Didi Gregorius got an RBI in this play. I was 1 RBI behind, and Didi got this RBI. So I benefited from this, okay? So just full disclosure there. So the reason why I don't have a losing record in fantasy baseball this week is because Didi pulled that out of his ass at the last freaking play of the night. All right? So let's go ahead and run this.
Didi pops that one into the opposite field. Ozuna's got it. Bohm's going to try it. Here he comes, and he's safe at the plate. Wow! On a shallow fly ball into left field. They roll the dice with Ozuna's arm.
Hear that crowd?
And Bohm is able to score on a bang-bang play at the plate.
Very aggressive base running here by Bohm and the Phillies. Shallow left field. The throw.
Against the southpaw Will Smith.
Yeah, they cut it?
I just read it was the Phillies account.
Yeah,
and they cut it right before the replay.
So here's what happened, man. They show it on the replay clear as day.
Mm-hmm.
The catcher blocked him. Catcher got his knee in there, and he blocked his foot from touching the plate. Bomb, whatever the hell you say his name. Bohm, whatever, Bohm.
Alec Bohm.
His foot goes, he tries to get on the plate, but it goes over the plate. It totally misses. It lands about 3 inches outside of the paint. He never touched the plate. The replay shows this clear as day.
Clear as day.
Clear as day. There, everyone watching is like, oh, yeah, no, he didn't touch the plate. Did not touch the plate. The home plate umpire called it safe. They go to replay. They go to some idiot in New York. I want to find out who the moron is that was running the replay booth in New York last night.
One job.
This dude's watching this from all the different angles. The entire country, the announcers are already saying, yeah, he missed the plate.
It's like football, right?
Yeah.
They see the same angles we're watching?
Yeah, it's insane. They come back, they radio down to the umps. Yeah, no, yeah, it was the right call. That was good. He's safe. What? Game's over. Game's over. They lose. Braves lose on a BS call. This is now 3 major blown calls by Blue in the last 7 days. The last 7 days. You had, what was it? Let me see. You had the Winker home run the day before, the Conforto through his elbow, and now you have Bohm. Let me tell you something. And Buster Olney said it best. I'll just quote what he said this morning about an hour ago. It's important that MLB come out today with a statement saying the pivotal review in Atlanta last night was incorrect. There is zero evidence that Alec Bohm touched home plate. None. If Major League Baseball does not come out, I mean, they're not going to change the call, but they have to come out and they have to admit that this has been just an absolute disaster. I don't know what the solution is. You've got these old-ass umpires that have been doing this for 20, 30 years. They're protected by their union. There's no repercussions for them. There's no penalty for them. That guy that came out in the Marlins game, Culpa or whatever the hell, the fact that he said immediately afterwards, yeah, I botched the call. There's no punishment for him. He didn't get docked a day's pay. He didn't get suspended for 10 games where he can't ump. There's no accountability. Yes, that was wrong, whatever. Sucks to be you. What?
My bad.
I mean, if anyone else had a job like this, you'd get suspended. You would get there'd be accountability.
No, suspended.
You'd get reprimanded or something. Maybe maybe not in the first shot you get fired, but you'd have a meeting with your boss. Not in baseball, man. I don't understand. And in this day and age, like, why are you going to have replay if you're not even going to do it right? What's the point? Major League Baseball got so many issues. So I'm legitimately concerned about the future of this game. So many issues. The second base thing in extra innings is pissing me off. It is so friggin' annoying. You want the game to be shorter, Rob? You don't have to worry about that in the extra innings. Speed up the first 9 innings. Then you won't be there for 5 hours when you hit inning number 10. That's not the issue that we need to speed. And how about the Marlins? Marlins had a rainout against the Mets. So now they're going to make that up. It'll be a doubleheader with a 9-inning game and a 7-inning game.
And they started this game, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
15 pitches in.
They actually got screwed because they had to make a roster move.
Yep.
Bye-bye Lewis Brinson. That's done. They optioned him. He's out of options.
Oh.
So
no.
that whole thing is over.
Louis gone?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Oh,
it sucks. We were all rooting hard for him. Local kid. Does not look like that's going to happen now. If it does, it'll happen elsewhere. But yeah, man, like it's absolute. It's just awful. Baseball, 7-inning games. I mean, what is this? Really? How am I as a fan supposed to take a 7-inning game seriously? Tell me. Someone tell me how I'm supposed to take that serious, how I'm supposed to put any credibility in that as baseball. A 7-inning game? What is my 5-year-old nephew playing t-ball? Really? I mean, that's the last time I saw a 7-inning game. It's a mess. It's just a mess.
What is the thinking behind that, though?
I don't know.
Just to save pitchers' arms?
I don't think there's any thinking behind it. I don't think there's any thinking behind it. I think there's a lot of thinking going on in the Park Ave offices of Major League Baseball right now with Rob Manfred. There's no thinking going on.
Manfred's under the desk today just hiding.
Oh, dude,
right?
he is dreadfully awful. He is dreadfully awful. He's been awful since day one. Whether it was the screw job on the Marlins sale, like, basically picking the winner, even though it wasn't the best ownership group that could have been awarded. With all due respect, should have been the Inter Miami ownership group. That's who should own the Marlins right now. With all due respect, it's who should have been. Local guy. But Rob Manfred wanted to put his thumb on the scale and tweak that for the captain, Derek Jeter. Whatever. And every other move you've made, Rob Manfred, whether it be suspensions, whether it be drug, whatever, they've all been wrong. They've all blown up in your face. You have yet to do anything that has given you praise by baseball fans. Nothing. Your entire tenure is an absolute waste. You're legitimately could be worse than Bud Selig. No one ever thought that was possible.
But let me ask you this, Toast. Is he making the owners money?
Of course he is, and that's all that matters. Yeah, he's making the old white guys money. Yep. And so that's cool.
He's going nowhere, right?
Yeah, so he's got job security, exactly. Just like Blake James.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, the owners are making their money, mediocrity. They don't care. They don't care if fans are getting screwed over and they're getting pissed off because they can't make the right calls with blue. They don't care. Owners don't care. They're making their money. So there you go. So the commissioner stays. Just like Roger Goodell. So it's listen, man, money rules everything nowadays. That's no mystery to anybody. All right, we'll take a break. I've gotten the baseball thing off my chest. A little bit, yeah.
Are you sure? It's all off your chest.
I mean, a little bit, It's just frustrating, man. It's just do
you consider yourself like one of the baseball traditionalists? Are you okay with some of the changes?
No, I'm cool with change. I have no problem with change. I would say that I'm a traditionalist. There's certain things I don't want changed. Like I don't want to go from 9 innings to 7. Okay? I don't care what your reasoning is. Don't eliminate 2 innings of a baseball game. Yeah, I'm against that. I was all for them keeping the DH in the National League this year. Had no problem with that. I'm all for the universal DH. There's plenty of things. I mean, I'm all for a clock in between pitches. I am all for the AI umpires calling balls and strikes. I'm all for that change. I think that change is great. I think that change is needed. I think that change will speed up the game. I want to watch a baseball game in 2.5 hours, not 4. So I'm all for that change, but don't change the structure of the game inherently. Like you're going to go ahead and like change the number of innings? Really? 7? Like, give me a break. Give me a break. So, yeah, that's where I stand. So, yeah. So I am a traditionalist, but I have no problem with evolving the game, and I believe that baseball, of all the big sports, needs a good evolution more than any because it is slow. It is not catching the younger generation. And also, you don't see a whole lot of inner city kids playing baseball, which is awful. I mean, Major League Baseball has to do a better job of putting ballparks in green space in the inner city somewhere. Absolutely, can't all just be pavement and hardtops
for a while.
Yeah,
but
no,
then it just kind of disappeared.
It kind of has disappeared, but it can't all just be blacktops in the inner city. You got to have some green space and some baseball fields, or else your sport is just going to die. It's going to die, and it's going to be only white people and folks from Latin America, and which is fine, but you need a bigger representation of different kinds of people in that game. We'll take a break. Got to get into the Deshaun Watson stuff. Also, dude, you see that A-Rod is about to buy a basketball team, right? And also, we got to talk about the Heat, because some bad things went down with the Heat. I believe it was Friday night. Victor's knee. And what is happening there, and the Heat are being kind of coy about this.
The Heat are being the Heat right now.
There's now discussion, will we see Victor play again in the regular season? Yeah. Not what we were looking to have a discussion about. We will take a break. That is coming up next. This is OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance. Say hi, guys. When I adopted them, I discovered that they both have incredible personalities. Chance's sole purpose in life is to love and to be loved. Frankie is a little bit of a scoundrel and always entertaining. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
What do sports radio AM stations sound like to us? The same as they sound to you. South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off for school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new Papadia, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
The Miami Heat beat the Portland Trail Blazers 107-98 behind Bam Adebayo with 22 points. Jimmy Butler added 20. Their next game tomorrow night in Phoenix against the Suns. Tip-off set for 10 p.m. The Florida Panthers, over the weekend, they lost their 3rd straight game, 4-1 to the Dallas Stars. They remain in Dallas for a game tomorrow night. That puck drops 8:30 a.m. And your Marlins, undefeated over the weekend. They won 3-0 on Saturday. Sunday's game was suspended tonight. They're in Atlanta opening a series versus the Braves. First pitch, 7:20 p.m. Hideki Matsuyama is your 2021 Masters champion. And it wouldn't be a sports update if I didn't say Roman Reigns retained the Universal Championship. This is South Florida's home for local sports talk. This is OnSideRadio.com.
Welcome back to 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh. To reach out to the boys, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Toast and Marsh.
Third segment, 4th and 20 podcast, Monday morning. A little bit rainy out there today. Be careful, man. Going to be, summer is here. Afternoon weather pattern, rain in the afternoon, humidity, again, sticky. Winter, spring, it's all officially over.
It's just rain and
sweating season is here. It's sweating season. Yes, it is. Go walk your dog, come back soaking wet. All right.
The water's freezing, by the way, over in Naples.
Oh, did you win in the ocean?
Yeah, I win in the ocean.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I'm crazy like that.
Yeah, you are. I am a huge open wheel racing fan. Whether I'm not a NASCAR fan. Open wheel racing. So
yeah, shame on you.
So Indianapolis and Formula One. I will watch the Formula One races every single Sunday. Well, every other Sunday when they're normally on. There's been talk about the city of Miami getting a Formula One race down here. And this has been talk that's been going on for a handful of years now. And I've been all for it. Initially, all the talk was about having a street race, a street course, down in the Miami Arena area. So Biscayne Boulevard, incorporating one of the causeways or Key Biscayne, and coming up with a track that way. That kind of got destroyed because a whole bunch of old people down in that area that lived there didn't want the noise and the traffic issues that would be caused by that for a couple of weeks. Yeah.
But could you imagine the traffic congestion down there?
Whatever, dude. Listen, you want to be a world-class city with world-class sporting events and a world-class race? Listen, you ever watch the Monaco Grand Prix? That city, those streets are locked down for the better part of 2 weeks. Every single year.
I-95 is like open wheel racing every day here.
That's a good point. So the residents successfully were a big enough pain in the ass to get all parties involved to scrap that idea. And then our man Stephen Ross, who has all of the money, decided, hey. Now, I believe Stephen Ross, he was one of the people that tried to buy Formula One when it was up for sale a few years ago, and they ended up going to Liberty Media. But I believe that Stephen Ross was initially one of the guys that was throwing his hat in the rings to be the owner of Formula One. So he's been a fan of this for a while. So then he steps up and says, hey, listen, what if we do it at Hard Rock Stadium? I have all that property there. I can build an actual track within the property of the stadium, and we can do it there. Folks are like, okay. Now, here's the issue, is that Formula One is very glam. It is very elite. It is movie stars. It is all the money. It is big yachts, fancy cars, champagne. Like, this is like the elite of the elite in terms of sporting events. There's no poor people anywhere within the vicinity of a Formula One race. You look at the places where they race, it is absolutely a gala and extravaganza. It is for the 1%.
Monaco.
No doubt about it. So Miami Gardens doesn't really fit the bill for the typical place where Formula One's going to set up shop and do a race. Listen, love Miami Gardens. It sure as hell ain't Monaco. Okay, it's not Australia along the the bay there or whatever. It's not that visually thing. So the city of Miami Gardens, we're like, you know what? No. We're going to fight this. We're going to fight this, Stephen. We don't get a lot of economic benefit from having the stadium within our city limits, this and that. We're going to fight this. There's noise issues. This and that's going to be a pain in the ass. And they did an effective job of fighting it to the point where the powers that be pretty much put a stop to this thing. They were like, you know what? No, this as you guys have planned this race, this is not good enough for the local community. One of those folks was Miami Gardens Mayor Rodney Harris. Well, now we get news that some attitudes have changed. And Mr. Harris's attitude has changed, and Formula One's attitude has changed, and it seems like, so here's what's going to go on. Here's what the latest proposal is. And this is kind of a big deal, because as I said, Miami Gardens is nothing like any other market than Formula One has ever been in, okay? And
there's no Walmarts in the back shops.
No, exactly. This is not like the fact that these Formula One folks are going to be coming to Miami Gardens is kind of funny to me, because this is not where they're used to hanging out. So if you want to do this and you're in the city of Miami Gardens, then you know what? You make sure that Formula One and Stephen Ross invest in your community, and that's what they're doing. And if you're Formula One, listen, man, you've got issues in your sport because it's very, very white. However, your best driver is African-American and Lewis Hamilton, okay? So earlier this year with the Black Lives Matter stuff, there were points where Lewis Hamilton was taking a knee and none of the other white drivers were.
Yeah. And they weren't coming to his back
Exactly.
either.
They weren't coming to his back either, exactly. He's been very vocal. He's been wearing Breonna Taylor T-shirts all season long, like, remember her name, stuff like that. And he's kind of been on an island. And there's been plenty of us in the media that have noticed this and have started taking some shots at Formula One as a result, because it's a very rich white sport, and right now they're on an island and they need to integrate significantly for this sport to have a little more credibility to it, and for them to just move forward, evolve, and keep a fan base coming in. So listen, in that regard, if you're Formula One and you need to address this in-house issue that you have, this is a great way to do it. You're going to a city that is majority African-American, that has a lot of folks that are dealing with poverty. And what F1 is going to do is, I guess this latest proposal, they will be dedicating $5 million to the local economy for basically infrastructure and programs and stuff like that. They're also going to create a STEM program for local Miami Gardens students, elementary school students. This is a good first step. I think this is a great step for Miami Gardens to be able to get something out of this that will help their community. I think it's great for South Florida to have an F1 race down here. It's great for America to have more than one F1 race on the calendar within the United States. And it's great for all those brands that are in F1, because if you haven't noticed, U.S. is kind of a big market for selling cars like Mercedes and Ferraris and stuff like that. So these guys want to have more than one race in the United States. So for me right now, Sean, this is a win-win-win. I think this is a win for Stephen Ross. This is a win for Miami Gardens. This is a win for F1. If all of this comes together, this is exactly what F1 needs right now. They need to get out of their comfort zone, go to a new city where they don't look like everybody else, and help out that community and do something different in the way they've been running their business over the last 30 years.
Yeah, if you do the same old thing, you get the same old results.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what – and, again, not saying that it hasn't worked for what they want to do, but if you want to grow –
Yep.
If you want to grow the F1,
And listen,
honestly, F1 over here, other than when you go to what?
Austin,
Sebring.
Yep. Well, they don't do Sebring. They only do Austin now.
Anymore,
Yeah.
right? So a few places,
Yep.
you're not really seen.
No.
In the United States at all.
No, and I'll tell you. And listen, when your number one driver, and he has been for the better part of a decade now, is Lewis Hamilton. As F1, you need to capitalize on that. You need to be using him to start minority driver programs for kids all over the world. Like, you got these little kids out there that are seeing this guy that looks like them, that's the best racer on the planet. You need to be starting programs and capitalizing on that. Like, there should be a wealth of African-American and minority drivers that come up in the next 15, 20 years because they grew up watching Lewis Hamilton. Know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way it should work.
Now, Toast, because I don't follow F1 as much as you do, is this, like, NASCAR-wise, you kind of start in go-karts, you go up to open wheels, things like that. It's kind of the same development for F1 drivers?
It's the same thing. It's very expensive. Like, I mean, if your family doesn't have money, then you're never. And I think that's probably true for NASCAR as well.
Yeah,
and for Indy, there's certain sports where if you want to get into them as a kid, your parents have to have means. They just do. Hockey's one of them, but certainly go-kart racing, because you've got to buy a go-kart and you've got to build a go-kart. You got to be able to put money into that go-kart, because every race weekend when you get back home in the garage, it's going to need to get repaired. It's going to need work done. So yeah, it is it's a difficult situation. But listen, F1, this is a perfect opportunity for F1 and for Miami and for Miami Gardens and for Stephen Ross to just kind of do something different for this sport and move it in a positive way, and just kind of deal with the minority issues that they've been ignoring for a number of years, and just be a better, more well-rounded organization. So hopefully we'll see. We're going to try to get Miami Gardens Mayor Rodney Harris on in the next couple of days. See what he thinks about this. Obviously, he went from being against it to now being for it. The fact that the mayor's in probably means that this will happen. But I believe they've
definitely got more legs to stand on now.
My only issue now, like if this does go through, is the track be no elevation. It's just going to be all flat. I mean, it'll be fine, but I don't know.
And also now over at Hard Rock Stadium, they've got the tennis in there
Dude,
now.
like,
They've been building the Dolphins facility.
Well, so here's the thing. For Formula One, they would have to build the pit stalls, have to be permanent. Can't be temporary pit stalls. So they're going to have to build those garages right on the front stretch. And the front stretch they have, I believe, right by 199th Street. I believe that's where the little map I'm looking at here.
Isn't that the tennis courts, though, now?
Well, there'll be maybe the other side of the I don't know. No, the tennis courts, this goes around the tennis courts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I'll tweet out.
I haven't been over there to see how much space is in between everything, but.
Yeah, so, I mean, it looks like it'll go. Yeah, it's tough to tell with this little map, but listen, man, it's got to be a couple miles long. So obviously there's going to be a lot of rights and lefts in there. It'll be a lot of loops, and we'll see, man, but no elevation. So it'll be a nice flat track. But we'll see what happens. Good stuff. We got the news coming up next. This is 4th and 20.
You can send them a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt, and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
It's toast. When South Floridians need hurricane windows, there's only one crew to call, Brett and Tom at B&T Windows and Doors. They came to the crib last year, installed PGT windows and doors, and now I'm set. No more plywood, no more knuckle-busting wing nuts. PGT windows and doors will keep me and my family safe the next time a named storm comes rolling on through. Call B&T today, 954-233-0126, or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S., do me a favor, tell them you heard about them on OnSideRadio.com.
Download the radio.net app so you can listen to OnSideRadio.com everywhere you go.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Big O for M&S Air Conditioning. You know, air quality in your home and business is more important than ever. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning and let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit. Folks, it attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. With stellar customer service, answering your call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. For more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans, visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Let's get back to the 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh. You can send them a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Toast and Marsh.
4th and 20 podcast, final segment of hour number 1. All the time we talk all about the various sports news and stuff going on, but as you know, there is other news out there, and this is the time that I have to tell you about the non-sports news. It is 4th and 20.
4th and 20 news.
Dateline, Gretna, Louisiana. Sean, a former sheriff's dispatcher in a suburb of New Orleans, has been arrested and accused of refusing to return more than $1.2 million that had been accidentally deposited into her brokerage account. Kellen Spadoni, 33, was taken into custody Wednesday on charges of theft valued at over $25,000, bank fraud, and illegal transmission of monetary funds. Spadoni is accused of immediately moving the $1.2 million that had been deposited into another account and using some of the money to buy a new car and a house.
That's smart.
Yeah, authorities said well, not really. No, it's not smart. It's not your money. Authorities said the clerical error had caused Charles Schwab to deposit more than $1.2 million into her brokerage account when it only meant to transfer about $82. When the bank attempted to reclaim the money, the request was rejected because the money was not available because she had moved it to a different account. Charles Schwab sued Spadoni in federal court. The company has tried to contact her several times to transfer the funds, but she never returned the phone calls. So far, about 75% of the money has been recovered. Yeah, bro, you can't spend the money if it goes in your account like that.
Well, I can tell you right now,
Yeah.
$1.2 million accidentally shows up in my account.
Yeah,
I might end up in jail.
All right, I'll visit you.
Thank you.
Largo, Florida, Sean.
Oh, you gotta love the Florida man.
A Florida woman is facing a felony child neglect charge after police found cocaine in a cut straw atop her 3-year-old son's copy of Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat. Casey Cuoca, 24, was arrested Wednesday after police found narcotics in her residence in Largo. Along with the bump of suspected cocaine, cops seized marijuana and a baggie of pills suspected to be MDMA. Well, man, dude, she's just living in the 90s over there. Like it. The drugs were easily accessible to Cuoca's child, according to the complaint. Cuoca, who works as a bartender at Applebee's.
Is it a lump? Nope, it's a bump.
Was booked into jail on 2 criminal counts. Oh, heavens. And finally,
Seuss book, too.
right, dude, right? Cat in the Hat.
Oh.
A woman was told she was a late developer, has revealed how she discovered she was actually born with a rare condition, which meant she only grew one breast. Becca Butcher of South Yorkshire has Poland syndrome, which means one breast is significantly smaller than the other. Her right one is a D cup, her left is an A cup. Obviously, she said she was cruelly teased in school due to her lopsided chest, but she refused. Like, I guess over there, the NHS, the National Healthcare System, offered to give her a free boob job. And she refused. And check this out. She said, I don't want surgery. I want information about why I am the way I am. I don't want to change it. I want to know how to live with it. Bro, props to you, Becca. Yeah. She's hoping she can inspire other women to speak up about the rare condition, which is believed to affect between 1 in 20,000 to 1 in 100,000.
Say it with your chest, Becca.
There you go. You know what, Sean? That was not nice. Becca began sharing her experiences online and has developed a community of other women suffering from the same syndrome. Good for you, Becca. Way to just be yourself and love yourself for who you are. We should all be able to do that.
That is right.
All right, man. We got to get into WrestleMania talk, Sean. I want a full-ass recap as to what went down the 2-night event, WrestleMania in Tampa. We talk about it next on OnSideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam, ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
AM 1260 WLEN.
We're live and local. Honey, are we really?
Just read what they wrote.
We're the best sports station for Miami.
What kind of programming genius does it take to flip a switch and put it on an ESPN satellite? We're your home for all local sports. AM 1260 WLE. Honey, would you please bring my laxative in here?
Sure, honey.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay, Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The Forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hello, Inter Miami CF fans! Download the Drink AR app and play inside a first-of-its-kind virtual soccer stadium, hosted by Bodega Trevento and Inter Miami CF, and celebrate your passion for soccer from the comfort of your own home. Find the download links on our Instagram account at Treventus and get our wines delivered straight to your home with a discount for all Inter Miami CF fans. Discover Trevento, a shared passion.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welcome back to 4th and 20.
Okay, let's see where to start.
Happy Monday, everybody.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Late today. Get out of bed. Resistance is futile. I have got a serious case of the Mondays.
Hello, everyone. We would just like to announce that our party is starting now.
You having a party?
Party's over. It's Monday morning.
Wow.
That was quick.
It's Monday.
Back to work, everyone. It's showtime, baby.
Here's Toast and Marsh.
Second hour, 4th and 20, the podcast. Please subscribe, tell your friends about it. You can also watch us stream live every single morning from 8 until 10 as we record this at onsideradio.com. Do that on YouTube and on Twitch. I am Toast, no Marsh. I do have Sean Stanley, though, as always, behind the board. All right, so this weekend, Sean, you are the wrestling expert on this radio station. You host the Squared Circle every single Saturday, 2 hours of WWE and AEW talk.
No, 1 hour.
Oh, it's just 1 hour. Okay. All right, let's not get crazy.
Yeah, let's not go crazy.
Not that much to talk about.
So this week there is.
Yeah, so WrestleMania this weekend. They held it in Tampa. And for the first time ever, if I'm not mistaken, Sean, a 2-night event, correct?
Well, no, they did a 2-night last year,
they
but
did, okay.
First time in front of fans.
Yes. All right, so let's start with Saturday first. So now, just so you know, I did not watch any of it. But waking up Sunday morning, I was looking at my feed, and the two things that I was seeing was talk of Shane McMahon in a steel cage.
Yes.
And Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair just like stealing the Saturday
show,
night.
Baby. Stole the show.
So talk to me. What happened?
All right. So night one started, of course, you know, Vince McMahon, they did the whole thing. They're like, thank you, WWE Universe. So happy to be here. It's time for WrestleMania. 45 minutes later, they get the first match because of lightning strike, apparently. Weather delay. They had to empty the arena so that they could have.
Oh, my God.
Then, so since nothing's really done, apparently they just said, hey, we're pro wrestlers. Just throw some interviews. Let's go to the backstage area. Let's keep it rolling because they have all this time. They can't just flip to other programming. So they finally do it, and then 45 minutes later, they get the first match out, which was Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship, which Bobby Lashley won. As you said, there's two matches on the first night I thought that were stole the show: Seth Rollins and Cesaro, and then the match you mentioned, which was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, which was the first time that two African American women wrestled as a main event at WrestleMania.
Very nice. Very
so
nice.
a lot of
historical
moments there.
There you go. All right, let me ask you this, because I know at one point I saw a clip on Twitter of Titus O'Neil, who was much loved, coming out and doing a little mic time, and then he came out with Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
And, well, why don't we just play the audio? You can see what happened to Hulk Hogan.
In 1 year, and 1 month, and 1 day, we are back in business live!
That's Titus O'Neil, for those that don't know.
Well, let me tell you something, Titus.
That is Hulk Hogan.
We're going to make history tonight.
Oh, dude.
And now remember this, too. Hulk Hogan went into the Hall of Fame as the member of the NWO. So the second time he's been in the Hall of Fame during this weekend as well.
Well,
And,
so let me ask you
they
this.
were co-hosts as a matter
Well,
of fact,
so
for
why
this.
is Hulk getting booed because of the racial epithet and the whole thing with Bubba the Love Sponge and is
More,
that
I believe,
still
the racial epithet, because a lot of people, and again, I think some of it is more the fans holding on to it.
Yep.
But Titus O'Neil was one of the vocal ones about it, as a matter of fact,
Sure.
which was interesting to see the whole thing
together? Yeah.
The others were Big E and the New Day. They kind of felt that Hogan's apology was just kind of like, hey, I'm Hulk Hogan. I'm sorry. You should forgive me because of everything I've done for the business. And kind of nonchalant is how they felt about it. Apparently there's been some closed-door meetings, but I think a lot of the fans still hold on to that. And plus, he's in Tampa. He's got his own Hulkamania shop there, too. So I don't know. Maybe he doesn't give enough specials.
I mean, I'm wondering if WWE just needs to part ways with him. And just, I mean, if
they did for almost a year and a half.
bit, yeah. But if this is the reaction he's gonna get, and the fans don't like him, and if he's got no credibility left because of the stuff that he's done, and listen, he's fine for money. He got that Gawker thing, so he's all good for cash. If I'm WWE, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, do you enjoy putting him out there, him getting booed? Is that good for you, or would you rather just kind of like cut bait and just walk away from
The
him?
one thing in wrestling is, if you're getting some reaction, that's good. If they walked out and it was crickets because of Hulk Hogan, you're probably not seeing him there. Night 2, they dressed him up as a pirate.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, he just
got a couple cheers then. Yeah, because
all right, so let's move to last night, the second night. I know that Daniel Bryan was in action, Roman Reigns was in action.
The triple threat match was last night.
Okay,
that ended the show. That ended all of WrestleMania.
Okay,
Roman Reigns retained the championship, which is something I didn't see coming. I thought they would have given it to Edge for his moment, but hey, let's keep things status quo because there's nothing wrong with that apparently in WWE, which is what a Vince McMahon type thing goes. But last night I thought night 1, I don't know if it was just because those matches were so good that night 2 was kind of stale. Night 2 was kind of stale. I mean, even Bad Bunny on night 1.
I heard he stole the show.
He did great. He did. I mean,
I saw something on Twitter that said Bad Bunny moved to Orlando a couple months ago.
Yeah, he's been there training every day. He's taking this very seriously.
Very seriously, and apparently
you could
showed.
see it turned off. Yeah, it turned out very well.
Good stuff, man. All right, so let me ask you this question. Because while I'm looking at my timeline over the weekend, I was amazed by how many of my friends were watching WrestleMania.
Yeah, there's a lot of closet wrestling.
Well, so at what age is it? Are you too old to be watching wrestling? Is there an age?
Because I'm now looking at there's an age.
My timeline's got 45-year-old, 50-year-olds watching WrestleMania, bro.
Yeah, I'm right there with them, man. I mean, I think, look, there's a time where, you have to understand what pro wrestling is. I think there's an age to where you have to understand what pro wrestling is, and then you become a troll more than anything. Like me, when I do most of my talking, I'm just trolling to see what happens when people say it. I'm like, oh, that was a terrible match. Even though it was probably one of the best matches on the card. I'm just trying to see. And then, like you said, you'll get 45 and 50-year-olds coming out of the woodwork being like, oh, you know nothing about wrestling. And then they're telling me what I don't know about wrestling. And I was an independent pro wrestler for 14 years.
Well, you were a pro wrestler?
Yeah, I wrestled for 14 years
I had
here.
no idea.
I even went up and had a tryout at FCW, which was the WWE developmental at the time.
Yeah, look at you.
That wasn't always
your name. What was your name?
I was the Sean Allen. I also wrestled as a Blackheart, and I did the American Taliban gimmick.
Oh, God.
Because I was a Marine and I joined the Syrian Slasher.
Okay. Oh, God, the Syrian Slasher. That's awesome. Well, let me ask you this, because one thing that I've been seeing, and this is over the last few years, is that some folks have been, complaining that the storylines have sucked.
Yeah.
Is that the case? And if that's the case, why are folks still watching?
Well, I think
storylines are a big part of it, man.
Yeah, I think some of them have gotten stale, and I think some of them have gotten lazy. That's my own personal opinion. This is my opinion is that they've gotten stale, and because there's no competition anymore. It was great when it was WCW
Monday Night Wars.
and WWE.
Oh, Raw's War. Oh, my God. Those Monday nights were spectacular.
And then also AEW has come out now, and everybody's like, they're not competition. I mean, by de facto, they're a different wrestling organization, but the shows on Wednesday, if you put their audiences together, one WWE show and AEW show still doesn't equal who watches Monday and Friday. One show. So they're not competition. But, I mean, I just think it's got to lazy writing. They showed last night, there was a match on the second night, which was Big E versus Apollo Crews. Since November, Apollo Crews has wrestled for the Intercontinental title 7 times.
Oh, wow.
Up until last night. So there you go. Lazy writing.
All right.
That's what it is.
All right. We will take a break in a minute, but check this out. If you are looking for a gig, if you like baseball, hot dogs, and money, check this out. Casino Review is looking for someone who's passionate about all things baseball and hot dogs to be their official MLB food tester. They want to pay someone $500 to watch baseball games at Major League Baseball stadiums across the country, eat some hot dogs, and review each experience on bonusfinder.com. In addition to the $500 paycheck for each game, the lucky winner will also get a food and travel budget. The chosen MLB food tester will be asked to report on both the hot dogs and baseball games, addressing the following criteria for hot dogs: hot dog appearance and color. Well, you got to have it's got to be nice bright pink. It can't be that more like tan, because that means it's been in the water too long. Quality of the bun and bread flavor.
So I don't like them in the water either.
And I absolutely prefer mine grilled.
Yeah, definitely grilled.
Hot dog flavor, complexity, and quality of meat. I mean, listen, we all know that it's lips and you know what in there, so I don't know about that. Sauce and topping generosity and value for the money. All right. For the baseball games, you'll judge them on the game entertainment and quality and the stadium atmosphere and excitement. Hey, listen, man, if you want a good-looking gig and you like hot dogs, I could do that. Right. That's right. I'm sorry, Logan Paul. Got to remind me we just had Logan Paul audio. So the best part, was this last night?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
So Logan Paul, the biggest ass on the face of the planet, who we all love to hate. He got in the ring with Kevin Owens, right?
Yeah, he was invited by Kevin Owens' opponent, Sami Zayn, to be a part there because he's doing a YouTube documentary.
Okay.
Which is how he kind of intertwined into this. Sami Zayn loses. Logan Paul jumps in the ring, kind of pushes Sami Zayn to the side and starts talking to Kevin Owens, and then this is kind of what transpires.
Stutter!
Goes Logan Paul!
And let me tell you something. Vince McMahon used to be the one that took that the worst.
Yeah.
With Stone Cold. That one was 10 times worse than anything Vince McMahon had ever done.
Good.
I honestly think they may have killed Logan Paul.
Well, we can only hope. That's not nice. Not a Logan Paul fan. All right, we got to talk some baseball. We got to talk some Panthers. We got to talk some Heat. All coming up next. This is OnSideRadio.com.
You can send them a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
It's toast. Smartest thing I did last year? Called B&T Windows and Doors and had PGT custom windows and doors installed in my house. Listen, it's spring. That means before you know it, we'll be hearing about the tropics churning. That means you need to get your home and family protected today. Call B&T right now and they'll get you installed ASAP with the best in the business, PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126 or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S. Tell them you heard about them on Onside Radio.
If you missed NBA insider Ira Winderman and the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report, you missed this.
Boogie Cousins is the sexy name, but I think they just might as well get someone who is a functional name. They will add another big body. I don't know if it's Boogie, and I'll tell you why, guys. He's been available since February 23rd.
Yeah.
So it's not like 28 other teams haven't had the option as well. That's a little bit concerning to me.
The Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report with NBA insider Ira Winderman, exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability to new generations. Reputation, experience, and trust is why clients choose Mr. Glass. Live the future now. Locate a dealer near you today.
Welcome back to 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh. To reach out to the boys, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Toast and Marsh.
4th and 20 podcast, second segment of the 9 o'clock hour. I am Toast, no Marsh today. My man Sean Stanley sitting shotgun. So the Heat and the Panthers, let us recap the weekend that was. Some good news, some bad news. Let's start off with the Cats, who all of a sudden now can't win a game. Obviously they go up to Carolina. They lose both of those. Listen, Carolina's really, really good. You would have liked to get a split there. But you're hoping that after they leave that, losing both those games, they would rebound against the Stars. Not so much. They lose 4-1. So now lost 3 in a row. They're now in third place in the division. Now the good news is they still got an 11-point lead over fourth place. So they're still securely but I don't like seeing 3-game losing streaks.
No.
Just, you know what I'm
and
saying?
And now we're making trades as well, trying to get that defenseman, which kind of scares me a little bit because that makes me think Ekblad is a little bit further off.
Well, listen, Ekblad's going to be gone for at least probably another 10 weeks or so.
Yeah.
They didn't really make a move for a defenseman. They did get Nikita Gusev, which I liked. 1-year deal for him. He was a free agent, though. Kid last played for New Jersey. He was a big-time stud in the Russian Hockey League. Had a good rookie season for New Jersey a couple years ago. Didn't do so hot last year. So kind of took a flyer on him. Very low risk, very possible high reward for him if he gets going. But, yeah, the defense is an issue. Listen, I think we knew it when Aaron went down. And we had the kid from college that just stepped up and was doing well. But, I mean, bro, he's not Aaron Ekblad. No. You're not going to be able to count on him day in and day out. He's not an established pro.
And then also, Ekblad's offense this season has taken off.
I know. It certainly absolutely has. So, listen, I'm not as concerned with the Panthers because I know Ekblad's going to be coming back. I know that they'll be back in time for the playoffs. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to be secure as a top 3 team in the division with the gap that they have over number 4 right now. I'm not as optimistic about the Heat. So this Victor Oladipo thing, man, we're not getting a real straight answer as to what's going on with this knee. If you saw it over the weekend, or what was it, Thursday or whatever, he jumped up.
Thursday when it happened.
Jumped up, did a dunk. Hurt his knee somehow going up, came down, and he started immediately rubbing it, and then he limped to the locker room, and we're now being told that it is he's out indefinitely. But yeah, so now, and listen, this was big because we only have the remainder of this season to judge him to whether or not you want to give him a big time deal.
Yep.
He's already had injury issues in the past.
Yeah. This is the same leg.
Yeah, this does not bode well. This does not bode well. And it also, now I will say this, and I told you this last week, how fortunate we were when you brought in Victor, they changed the rotation, and unfortunately for him, Kendrick Nunn was the odd man out. And Kendrick Nunn's been having a hell of a season this year, picked up where he left off before the bubble last year. But he was going to be the odd man out, so he hadn't played in a few games. You go ahead, you lose Victor, you turn to Kendrick last night, and he was a stud. Just stepped up again, man. So it's great that you have that guy there that can step up. But, yeah, I'm curious to see what happens here. Spoelstra was non-committal when asked if we'll see Victor again in the regular season.
But that's the Heat way, right? They
never
discuss.
But I'd rather have him say, yeah, no, he should be back like in about a week or so. Like, because now we don't know, like, is he going to need surgery? I mean, we don't know how bad, like, their coyness leads me to believe that this is worse than this is a bad injury. That they're not optimistic he's going to be back anytime soon. And listen, you didn't give up anything for him.
Well,
as
the fact
we said.
that you're going to see a specialist for a second opinion usually leads to you're going to try to do what you can to play, but it's not a good injury.
I don't know, man. I hate to speculate, but I'll go ahead and do
100%. But that's all you can do when you're dealing with the Heat,
Listen,
though.
I don't think I'm not a doctor.
He's not going to give you anything.
No, I'm not a doctor. I'm thinking maybe something like a meniscus or like some cartilage, loose cartilage, maybe something they can just kind of clean up, and he's good in a couple of weeks, hopefully. But this is not a good sign. So I'm more optimistic about the Panthers right now. This Heat injury has me rather concerned. It does.
Do you think the Panthers going into the playoffs are more aligned than what the Heat would be going into the playoffs without Oladipo?
Here's my issue with the Panthers is that I legitimately don't believe we're as good as Tampa and Carolina. I think we're just a half step behind them.
I think in a 7-game series it'll come out. Yeah.
And so I'm not. Listen, I love the season they're having, but for me, for the Panthers, this is a process of. This is the beginning of a growth, of a crescendo to get to a Stanley Cup final. And whatever happens this year, I believe next year will be better. With Coach Q, with everything. So, but this year, I just think we're not quite as deep as those other two. Also, you throw in Washington. I think right now we're accurate. I think it's accurate. We're the number 4 team in the Eastern Conference, which is fine. And I would expect that the Panthers are going to win their first playoff series in a long ass time. Will they win the second one? Possibly not. But I expect the playoff series win in the playoffs this year, and then when they go up against in a 7-gamer against either Carolina or Tampa, who the hell knows what's going to happen? But I have a feeling those two teams in a 7-game series are a little bit better.
I think you can see a competitive 7-game series possibly